enables you to describe your application once and deploy the same code on premises and across different clouds like AWS and Azure. New in this demo, we're going to deploy an application to Azure Container Instances, or ACI, which is a serverless container platform on Azure. I'm using an existing cloud-native application called TraderX, which has about 10 microservices. I've described the application in a bicep file, and I can use that to deploy the application to any Kubernetes cluster. I've got an AKS environment set up already, so let's do that now. By the way, this works with any Kubernetes cluster. It could be on my local machine, or even in AWS. Radius can already help me build multi-cloud applications today. But what if I wanted to use a serverless platform instead of Kubernetes? Normally, the choice of compute platform would be made up front, and it'd be difficult to change later. With Radius, you can use the same deployment files to target a different platform with no code changes. I've got another environment set up, but this one targets ACI. When I deploy the application, Radius is going to create things on Azure like ACI containers, load balancers, DNS entries, and other infrastructure to power the app. Today, if I wanted to migrate an application from Kubernetes to ACI, I'd have to figure out how to translate what Kubernetes is doing into Azure infrastructure like container groups and load balancers. I'd have to be an expert in both Kubernetes and Azure. Then when I'm done, I might have to maintain two versions of the configuration, one for Azure and one for Kubernetes. Now that it's done, let's look at what Radius created in Azure. In this resource group, we can see all of the container instance resources that are running the application. Radius can do this translation for me and manage all of the underlying infrastructure. I don't need to know all of the details of both platforms. I only need to know how to use Radius, which means that any developer can do it. Let's test the application and make sure that it's working. Looks like that's working. To understand this translation a little bit more, let's highlight how that's working for a single container. Over here on the right side, we'll visualize what Radius did for AKS, and over here on the right side, we'll visualize what Radius did for ACI. Over here on the left, you can see that Radius created Kubernetes resources like deployments, service, and service accounts. On the right side, you can see that we created Azure resources like container instances, load balancers, DNS entries, and subnets for networking. Radius support on ACI includes support for rolling deployments, load balancers, and service discovery via DNS. These are all good ideas that cloud-native applications rely on, and Radius can wire them up without becoming an Azure expert. Radius is able to deploy my application to both Kubernetes and to a serverless platform in the cloud without me making any code changes.